Hey everyone, Ash here for the S League, looking at super worlds in Mario Maker 2 that you should definitely play. In its last major update, Super Mario Maker 2 introduced Super Worlds, the ability for creators to take levels they've created and make an entire world, complete with an overworld map, branching paths, one-up minigame houses, and lots of options for aesthetic design. A lot of the first worlds that came out were random compilations of levels that had already been built, but now that the update has been out for a few weeks, we're starting to see worlds with levels that were custom built to be part of a world. And the impact is staggering. Playing level after level by the same creator, levels that are thematically linked and designed to be played in sequence with increasing difficulty, it just brings a whole new dimension to the game. Plus, super worlds are a great way to showcase what a creator is capable of beyond the confines of individual levels. The one thing Super Worlds doesn't have is an easy way to find high-quality, well-made worlds to play, so I've put together this video to highlight some of the best worlds I've come across at varying difficulty levels. I'll be featuring 3 worlds in this video. I'll put the creator codes up on the screen, plus you can find them in the video description. I'll be giving each world a difficulty rating out of 10, where 1 means a baby could beat it, and 10 means grinding for hours to get to the first checkpoint. Bear in mind that that's a difficulty rating, not a quality rating. All of the worlds in this video are highly recommended. I don't see the point of wasting your time with bad ones. Then just for fun, I'm going to finish off this video with a montage of some of my more embarrassing fails that took place while I was recording the footage. You don't want to miss that. So relax and enjoy, and if you like this type of content and want to see more, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We really appreciate the support. First up, Super Buflen World. Average difficulty 6.5 out of 10. You won't be sitting still much in Super Buflen World. This one is a masterful collection of levels that keep you moving in a variety of ways, but are also fairly forgiving of minor slip-ups. Buflen is a popular creator in the Mario Maker community. According to some, he's the most popular creator. I can't verify that objectively, but he is well known for producing fun, well-designed levels, and his Super World puts his talents on display in full force. As masters of this game will tell you, one of the keys to good level design is having a theme. Some consistent item or element of gameplay that is featured throughout a level. Not only do all of Buflen's 10 levels apply this rule, he's got thematic elements woven throughout the entire world, and he introduces one of them right at the beginning of World 1-1, with these munchers stacked on top of Koopas. Munchers atop shelled creatures is a theme you'll see throughout the levels in this world, and it really ties the levels together despite the huge diversity of designs. Other thematic elements include the necessity to keep moving to stay alive, the consistent use of the Super Mario World game style, and laser mecha Koopas, which he uses sparingly but effectively in multiple levels. Another thing you'll find in every level is strategic placement of 50 coins that are hard to miss. I thought this was genius because it mitigates your loss of lives as you're grinding levels. As long as you make it to the second 50 coin, you won't have a net life loss if you mess up before reaching the next checkpoint. And if you only hit the first 50 coin, you've essentially lost only half a life. Even though running out of lives isn't really that devastating, you get bumped back to the world map and lose your checkpoint progress, but that's about it. Being rewarded for playing well is a very satisfying aspect of Buflen's levels. Also, prepare for some fun and creative level design. A lot of level features that players usually hate because they're poorly implemented, things like auto-scroll, snake blocks, and dark levels, Buflen uses these and actually makes them fun. One of my favorite moments happens in the very first level, where you have to dodge a sideways thwomp. This is a slowdown mechanic disguised as an obstacle. Because you have to dodge the thwomp, you can't catch the first cannonball that gets fired down below. You're forced to jump off the second one, which is important because you need to bounce off that first cannonball later on. The thwomp dodge is a much more interesting technique than using something like donut blocks to slow the player down. The final castle is a vertical upward dash to stay ahead of lava, and it's a blast. Plus, the final section of this castle is one of the best things I've ever seen in Mario Maker. I'm not going to spoil it, but it includes all of the Koopalings, and you will not regret playing it. Buflen World has 10 levels spread over 2 worlds, and I'd place it at about a 6.5 out of 10 for difficulty. It's tricky in places, definitely a world for above-average players, but it's also fairly forgiving and doesn't require you to do difficult Kaizo-style tricks like shell jumps. Next up, Super Mortaas World. I think that's how you say that. Average difficulty is about a 5.5 out of 10, but, well, the distribution curve is pretty broad, so I'll explain that in a minute. If you're looking for a more traditional Mario experience, definitely check out Super Mortaas World. This Super Mario 1 themed world spans 8 maps with 36 total levels. I'm pretty sure Mortaas started building these levels long before the version 3 update, which is when World Maker was added. Post-update content doesn't start showing up until the end of World 6. But as the numbers in the level names indicate, they were designed to be a world from the start. When I say this is a traditional Mario experience, I mean that it's built like a classic 2D Mario game. The levels are mostly linear, built around basic platforming with enemies to dodge, optional coins and power-ups to grab, secrets to find, etc. Especially in the early levels, Mortaas really captured the feel of playing the original Super Mario Bros., with a lot of design throwbacks to that game. Levels end with a climb to grab the top of the flagpole, and each world ends with a classic Bowser showdown on a bridge. There's even a couple of points where you're required to find Mario 1-style warp zones. The worlds are very cohesive in terms of design and gameplay themes, with a few shakeups and surprises thrown in here and there. I did find the first world a little bland. It was the easiest, of course, but it also might have had something to do with the pale color palette of the sky theme. After that, though, I was hooked and really enjoyed the variety of themes of the following worlds. The journey takes you through a forest, underground caves, a desert world, an ice world, a world full of airships, and finally, into Hell. That's not a joke. World 7.1 is called Welcome to Hell, 7.2 is called Hell Warp Zone, and so on. The final showdown with Bowser happens at the end of World 7, and then there's a bonus world akin to Star Road from Super Mario World. It only has one level, and it was pretty fun and pretty difficult, and we're not going to talk about how many times I died stupidly on this fish surfing section. Stupid fish. In terms of difficulty, Mortaas World starts around a 3 or 4, but gradually progresses to a 7 or 8 by the end. I'm not gonna lie, World 7 gets a little crazy. At times, it's a full-on bullet hell. Oh, maybe that's why he called it Hell. Honestly, I'm not a fan of bullet hell levels in Mario. But even so, I had a ton of fun playing Super Mortaas World. It was really satisfying when I finished it out, and I would absolutely recommend that you try it out. The final world I'm going to feature here is Super Revolv World, another excellent world from a popular creator. Revolv World has 20 courses spread across 4 maps, each of which caps off with a unique boss fight against a Koopaling. The entire thing feels like a cohesive journey from beginning to end. Like Buflen, Revolv uses thematic elements throughout that tie all of the levels together, and once again, all of the levels use the Super Mario World game style. I almost felt like I was playing a sequel to Buflen World, actually. Most of the levels are built around sequential jumps and well-timed platforming, but there's some variety to the level styles, and a lot of interesting game mechanics thrown into the mix. And in a couple of places, Revolv throws in some well-placed trolls to add just the right amount of salt to the mix. I won't spoil them here, but they might be in the fail montage later on. They are pretty funny. Revolv World starts out at about a 5 out of 10 in terms of difficulty, but it ramps up quickly and sits at about an 8.5 by the end. It starts off with some fairly straightforward platforming, but by the 3rd level you're dodging poisonous mushrooms and doing some large bomb surfing. The final level features a spring drop into lava, a pow drop into lava, and one basic wall-to-floor shell jump. This is the upper limit in terms of the difficulty of Kaizo-style tricks in this world. The levels are mostly built around doing sequential jumps and throwing items, and some of these are fairly precise, but the overall difficulty is mitigated by the fact that the levels are fairly short. In most cases, you'll do a sequence of only 4 or 5 tricks before finding yourself at a checkpoint or the goal tape. So even if the individual tricks are fairly hard, it's not a painful grind to get through them. Usually, creators are tempted to cram as much as possible into these kinds of levels, but that wasn't necessary here. It's as if the ability to create an entire world allowed Revolv to sit back and say, you know what, it's alright. I don't need to cram 45 tricks into each segment of this level. I can relax a bit and spread my ideas across many levels. It makes the world feel more relaxed and casual, despite the high level of challenge. You start the world with only 5 lives, but Revolv is very generous with 1-ups throughout, sometimes giving you a dozen or more when you beat a level. There are a few optional bonus levels scattered throughout. Beating these short challenges will reward you with a bunch more lives and access to a mushroom house. Overall, Revolv World is incredibly fun and highly recommended if you can stomach the harder difficulty. So there you go, Buflen World, Mortaas World, and Revolv World. 3 highly recommended worlds from excellent creators in Mario Maker 2. Definitely check these out, tell me what you think of them in the comments below, and let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this or if there's any specific worlds you'd like me to review. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well. And now, as promised, the fail montage. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, sub, and hit that notification bell, and then check out some of these other videos. Find the link to our Discord server and other important stuff in the description below.